sounds like a new DK song, but I just don't know. I didn't think that guy made music anymore. That sounded like this. My goodness. It's quite intriguing, wouldn't you say? Oh! Well, I better turn that off. I don't want to get anyone too excited about my new album. I have 4 songs done for that, and it's going slow. It's great, though. They're not songs. They don't have words. They're called pieces. My name's DK. Welcome once again to the state of decay. DK. That's me, K. Not Weequay. He is a very small character from Return of the Jedi, and I don't mean physically small. I mean he is not a large role to play in the universe at large, as far as I'm aware. I believe old boy was thrown into the Sarlacc pit during the incident involving Jabba and Han Solo and Luke Skywalker. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a real good one. Weequay, I had a figure of him. He had long hair and a weird, like, bumpy face. Pretty cool guy. What in the hell was I talking about? Once again, I'm DK. Welcome to this, whatever this is. It's a show, I guess. I don't know. So today is Saturday the 9th of June. Knowing me, I've delayed releasing this like forever because that's how I've been doing it lately because I'm lazy or I haven't had time. Today was the beginning of E3 2018. There were some fun little announcements at the EA conference, but nothing big for me. Nothing that really got me excited, although Star Wars related. Battlefront 2 is getting Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker from the Clone Wars era. It'd be funny if it was Kid Anakin with a gun. Hit the nose! We're also getting General Grievous. And we're also getting Count Dooku, which is fun. I want to be Christopher Lee. Not just in that game, but in general, in life, I want to be Christopher Lee. So that would be fun. Speaking of Christopher Lee, we watched a Vincent Price movie recently that I had seen before, but it's literally been years. I guess that's not hard to believe, is it? It's been about 15 years since I've seen it or so. Maybe a little less, but not much. I got this pack of horror movies. It's like 50 movies. It was like $20 for like 50 horror movies, but they're all like old movies where the rights, like no one had the rights. They were all like public domain movies or they were really cheap to get or whatever. And this movie is called The Last Man on Earth, starring Vincent Price. I can't even do it. But he's in it. And it's based on the same story as the movie I Am Legend, which is called I Am Legend. But it's weirdly, apparently, more faithful to the original story, I Am Legend, than the Will Smith one is, which is kind of funny. It's a weird little movie. I really enjoyed it. I saw it a long time ago. Like I said, it was in black and white, because of course it was. The version I watched was a strangely colorized, sort of, those early colorization movies when they don't quite get it right. The color palette's kind of very soft. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't look amazing color-wise. The movie may work better in black and white, I'm not sure. Probably because it's such a bleak movie. It had some fun things to offer and some good drama. It had some good drama for what it was. But the fun thing is, if you know the story of I Am Legend, the Will Smith one, it's kind of similar. He's like the last man alive that he knows of in, I think it's supposed to be L.A., but it was apparently filmed in Italy, I believe. So they try to pass Italy for LA. It's weird because it does have the feel of some of those Italian horror movies, but it has Vincent Price. But every single other person is badly dubbed, like badly dubbed. It's amazing. There's a small child actress in the film, and she has to act like she's sick, and she's like, "Mother, I can't see it." But it's like it's her voice does not match what she's doing. Like she almost just looks like she's screwing around, like barely involved. But it was weird. It was fun though. Why is the yawning starting? It's ridiculous. That movie was fun though. So essentially, the story is there's this vampire plague that's like carried by the wind, it seems. And they're not exactly vampires. I never saw them drink anyone's blood. I don't know if they're just trying to kill you or infect you, or if you just turn into a creature. That's not really stated. They don't really say, "Oh yeah, we drink blood." But like apparently garlic, they're sensitive to garlic, and they don't like seeing their own reflection. And I guess a stake through the heart's how you kill them. It sounds like a vampire to me. Vincent Price is like this really upset dude in a house, lost his family, and he just goes out and he has like formed this grid on a map, and it'll just clear out vampires and people on a grid, one grid at a time. He's trying to clear out the whole town or city or whatever. And he like has all these rituals that he does, and like you see his day-to-day happen. And you see he kills like 2 vampires, or like sometimes in the morning he'll just wake up and there's dead people in his yard for some reason. It's not really explained why. So he'll just put them in the back of his car. And I looked this up because you see Vincent Price lifting these people. It's all one shot, and he lifts this man and woman and puts them in the trunk of his car all in one shot. And I'm like, man, he's really having a hard time. Those must be some heavy dummies that I don't know why they didn't just, cut away or have him lift something a little lighter. And then I read in the trivia that Vincent Price insisted on using real actors, real people. So when he lifted the bodies, it really showed how hard it would actually be. So good on him for that. I always love Vincent Price, and that's a fun little detail. That seems about right. He wanted it to seem at least realistic in that way. So I do like that. But he lifts these bodies, and instead of, taking care of it near home, he seems to drive for an hour, roughly, to this giant pit where they dump the bodies and burn them. But it's just him. He could do it anywhere. Literally anywhere. There's no one going to tell him to stop because there's no one else alive. He could do this anywhere. I understand not wanting it really close to your house, but maybe a few miles, you've got access to every car in town, and apparently unlimited gas, at least for what you need it for. So why don't you just pick someplace a little closer to dump these bodies? Plus, he's using this little, not quite station wagon, but it's like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's a small little vehicle with like a hatchback, and you can fit maybe 4 bodies back there, maybe, if they're full-size adults. And he's making these huge trips, and he's throwing these bodies down. He's like laboriously breathing and trying to get these people down this hill and then set them on fire. Just make it easier on yourself, dude. And then his house is like badly fortified, so they can like at night they come to his house and they know his name. The vampires come to life and they're like, Morgan, come out. Morgan, we're going to kill you. And I thought that would definitely have given me nightmares as a kid. George Romero credits this movie as the blueprint for Night of the Living Dead, and it's obvious if you watch the movie. There are some very similar shots, but apparently that's where Romero got a lot of things, a lot of ideas. But they're like weirdly just walking around the yard going, Morgan, and they can't really control their bodies that well, so they're just kind of flailing their arms and but they all have 2x4s for some reason. They're like smashing his house, and you'd think years into this, they would not find any more windows to smash. They'd all be smashed. But it seems like every night they show this happening, they're finding more new windows on his home to smash. I'm like, just board it up. And then what else happens? There's some really funny things that don't make any sense. I won't tell you the twist, but there's a twist ending. I like this version more than the Will Smith I Am Legend, although I Am Legend has a amazing scene where he talks to a mannequin. I believe his name is Fred. If you're real Fred, you better tell me now. You better tell me now, Fred. That's a good one. So if you get the chance, the Last Man on Earth, it's fairly short, pretty easy to digest. If you like these old school horror movies like I do, you might enjoy this one. They try at the drama, they really do. You see his family get ill, and you see some of that stuff, and you see the town becoming overtaken by this plague and whatever. But it's not like, I mean, it's depressing, but it's not like some of those zombie movies just really try to hammer you. It's not like that. It's super bleak, though. I'll tell you that. It's but I weirdly had fun with it. So that's one to. I don't know, if you weirdly like these kinds of horror movies, and it is known, I would consider it to be kind of a classic. It's not going to be on anyone's scariest movie list, but it definitely would have frightened me as a kid, and it made, I'm still thinking about it a day or two later, so I'm enjoying thinking about that one. I had a good time, and I think maybe Morgan, come out. I think that's going to be part of my lexicon of phrases. That's fun. Yeah, so watch The Last Man on Earth because it's great. I'm sure it's on YouTube. I found it on Amazon Prime, but I'm sure it's on YouTube for free at this point. This weekend we're going to see Hereditary, which is getting this insane buzz. Now, movies get this all the time where it's like, oh, it's the scariest movie since The Exorcist. That's what they always say. Scariest movie since The Exorcist, blah, blah, blah. Many movies have had that title. We'll see. But this does seem to have legitimate hype. It seems to have legitimate quality. This is just from other people. This isn't from what I haven't seen it yet. So I'll see it on Sunday, I hope. So tomorrow. And I hope to be scared. I saw an article about the movie that the title was something along the lines of, can a movie be too scary? So interesting. I look forward to this. I've been watching some trailers for it for a couple months now, and I've been interested. There hasn't been one that really got me since It Follows. And I'm not saying that It Follows scared me. I'm saying It Follows just sort of consumed me. I've talked about it many, many times, but It Follows really got me under my skin. I loved it. I love the idea. So that's fun. And speaking of It Follows, if you were hanging out with me last year or last fall, we showed It Follows, and we also showed Halloween on our October horror movies. And speaking of Halloween, they've just dropped the trailer for the new Halloween movie. I wish I would stop yawning. The trailer looks fun. I hope that this can be a good conclusion for the original story. I mean, I'm really conflicted because I like some of the later movies, but I just looked into this. There are 4 Halloween timelines now. There's the original timeline, the first movie. There's the timeline for the second movie, which I guess technically goes in line with the first movie. So the first 2 are a timeline. And then Halloween 3 is not even part of it. But then Halloween 4 starts this different timeline that goes 4, 5, 6, I believe. And then H2O, which is a later one, starts a different timeline that throws out the other ones. Because in 4, 5, and 6, Laurie Strode has been killed in like a car accident because Jamie Lee Curtis didn't want to come back, I guess, or whatever. So now there are these multiple timelines. And then the 2007 Rob Zombie version had a different timeline. So there's all these timelines. It's turned into Doctor Who. But so this new one is a separate timeline branching from the first movie. That's an interesting idea. We'll see. I saw the trailer. I'm excited enough about it. I love the original movie. Nothing's going to take the place of that. So anything is just going to be... I kind of feel the same way as I do about the new Star Wars movies. I love the original so much. Anything else is great. If I don't love it, I don't love it. I'm trying to have that attitude. Hopefully nothing gets ruined, although you came close. Like, I think it could happen with the numbered ones that involve like the Skywalkers and stuff, but I don't know. I'm fine with episode 8, so I don't have I don't feel like it's been ruined. Although I do, I would have liked some different things in episode 8. I was entertained and I accept it for what it is, and I'm fine with it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it, but it's not the direction I would have gone. So that's all. It just, my expectations were different. So we'll see. I'm trying to keep an open mind about Halloween, and I'm very much positive on it since I've seen the trailer. So fingers crossed that will be fun. There's some good scares in the trailer. I look forward to that. Sad there can be no Donald Pleasence. He's no longer with us. He's the best part about those movies, in my opinion, or one of the best. I'm realizing... Just recently, I was thinking how much I really love Donald Pleasence. I think he's one of my favorite actors, actually. He's done some of my favorite things. He's so good in Halloween. He's so insane. If you ever get a chance to see Halloween 4, or maybe just one, there's one scene, if I can find it, I'll clip it and I'll put it on YouTube, or I'll see if it's on YouTube. I'll link it if I can find it. There's some scenes where he's just, or maybe there's a supercut of him being nuts. He's an insane, he's almost like a Nicolas Cage like level of insane. You know what I mean? He's amazing. He's really good at Halloween. He's in one of my favorite Mystery Science Theater movies, Puma Man. Puma Man, as he says, that movie's insane too. That's great. Puma Man. It's like a really bad 70s. Like Superman was really big, so they made this other superhero called Puma Man. All the powers of this mythical Puma guy. I don't even know, but watch it if you can. He's in a really good John Carpenter movie called The Prince of Darkness, which, man, I love that one. That's such a good movie. He's this like crazy priest. He's in Escape from New York. A lot of these are John Carpenter movies. He's in Escape from New York as the president somehow. I don't know how a British person could become the president. I don't think that's possible, but either way, he is. He's the Duke of New York, number 1. I love that movie to death. He's great. I've seen him in tons of things. One of my favorite episodes of Twilight Zone, he's in that as this old teacher whose students come back from the dead. You TV heads out there, you want to look up that episode. It's called The Changing of the Guard, I believe. And he's retiring, I think. And these students that he had who had died come back and thank him for everything he did. But his performance is just weird. He says their name. He's like Bartlett. Elysium Bartlett. And then he sees this other guy, and he goes, Weiss, Dickie Weiss. It's just, his reactions are so strange in his face. And weirdly, kind of looks like my grandpa, so like there's that. I love him because of that, but yeah. So, just Donald Pleasence in general. Just shout outs to you from beyond the grave. He's the best. So I wonder if they'll... Well, I'll let you watch the Halloween trailer for yourself, but there's a fun little shout out in there to Donald Pleasence. Very cool stuff. And I do want to say, if you watched those Halloween movies with us last year, we plan on doing it again this year. I've made plans. I've been making plans, trying to find the perfect combination. Since last year, I've been working on this. So hopefully this year we can come up with something real nice. Something that's going to be just as fun. I had a great time last year, and so I thank you for watching those with me. Even though they weren't all, probably what you would normally watch, I appreciate you watching them with me. What else is going on? We finished the flooring in our house. I think I said that last time. I've been playing my Switch a bit. I haven't been playing any games, really. I got Detroit Become Human, but I haven't even started it yet. It's from the makers of Heavy Rain. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it. I'm waiting on some E3 announcements. I'd like to see a couple of things. We'll see what gets announced, but I don't have crazy hype for E3. but I would like to be delighted by something. I think probably my best chances for excitement are going to be at the Bethesda thing, the Bethesda conference, and then the Sony conference probably will be my biggest sources of joy. There'll be something in there. I'd love to see some Death Stranding. That's my number one, probably. You know, I love Hideo Kojima and Metal Gear Solid, so I've enjoyed pretty much everything he's done, so I have full faith that he can make a great game that will entertain me. And I look forward to that. I'd like to see God of War DLC, but I don't think it's going to happen. It just doesn't sound like it's going to happen. And it's almost better that way in some ways. Like they set out to make a complete game. They said it from all the interviews I've ever seen of that. They're like, it's a complete game. There won't, whatever. So DLC maybe might be kind of against everything they said, but at the same time, I really want more of that game. But it might just be time to wait. It might be time to play through that one again, maybe, or just hang out and wait another 5 years for the next one. Hopefully not 5 years, because that game was so good. Oh man, I've raved about it. I really loved it. It was so good. I'm trying to think of any other rumors I read. The EA spent a ton of time on Anthem. I don't care. I just don't care. Nothing about that interests me. Same as Destiny. Don't care. It just looks very similar. I've been listening to the new Ghost album. I like it. It got some weird hate for sounding a little different, but I don't think it sounds that different. I think it sounds pretty much the same. And I think they put out a good record, to be honest. And there's something about the tone of it that's also made me go back to one of my other similar favorites, a band called Him. So they get kind of made fun of for being like a teen goth, like a goth rock band, and it's for like angsty teens or whatever, but I don't know. It's like kind of romantic, and it's like melodic rock, kind of goth. Like they have some pretty clear influences from some other bands that I love, like The Cure and Typo Negative. It's kind of a, it's one of those things. I didn't initially love them, but now I kind of do. So if I was going to have a time in the show when I would like tell you about songs that I like if it were some sort of feature, this would be the time. I mean, I don't do that, so you don't have to worry about it. But
DK Song of the Day, sponsored by Dr. Thunder.
This is a feature.
This song is called "I Will Be the End of You," I believe. It's from their last album. That now they've announced recently that they're done. They're doing a farewell. I think they're doing a farewell tour now, and they're done. I think so. That's sad because I've enjoyed them since about 2003 or something like that, or maybe a little later, 2005, roughly. But I've enjoyed them for quite a while now, and I've seen them live a few times, and they were very fun and romantic music, easy to listen to. You can kind of put it on when anyone is around. You don't have to worry about what he's going to say or is it going to get too heavy or whatever. It's just kind of like fun. I don't know. It's just kind of like fun goth rock. So this song is called "I'll Be the End of You." Here's just a little. Let me see here. Maybe I have that song. Here we go. That's what you're looking for. I forgot this long intro. By long, I mean short. Pretty standard. Pretty easy to listen to. It's kind of like rock music, They were on the radio for a while. I don't know if any of this album was. They kind of had their heyday around 2007 when they were real big. They were on TV and the radio a lot. They kind of lost that, I think, but I still love them. I think you maybe will find some influence of them in my music a little bit. they got some melody and they got some fun. They're not super heavy or anything by any means. They kind of go with Ghost. I think them and Ghost on a show together would be amazing. Yeah, so check them out. I like them a lot. This is from their last album, Tears on Tape. Pretty solid album. I didn't like it that much at first, but I've kind of gone back to it and I kind of rediscovered that I really like it. It's all kind of melancholy. It's a more rock-oriented, like, I remember I played you Catatonia a while ago, and some of you weren't into it because it was too melancholy or too, I don't know, structurally it was weird or something. This is like maybe the same feeling, but in a more rock-oriented, more fun way. You might dig them. They have one album, Venus Doom, that has a bunch of Typo Negative references that I love. Yeah, so they're good. Check them out. Check this song out. I think that's it for now. I'm going to get onto the highway and really make some progress on this trip home. I thank you for listening. I will talk to you again soon. And the countdown to the pinball extravaganza begins. Hopefully I get to see some of you for the first time and some of you again. And yeah, thanks for listening. Hope everybody's well. And may the farce be with you. And yeah, catch you on the flip-flop. Bye.